Hi, welcome or welcome back. Welcome back. Doo-doo. Hi, my name is Sharifa. Welcome and welcome back to the Nubian Review. If you are first time visitors, welcome. And if you are a returning visitor, welcome back. At this channel, I love to review books, give book recommendation, book hauls, planning, creative journaling, just all the things. But today, I come to you with I guess you could say a quarter two book haul. I had put a hold on purchasing any books for the month of April for what is that day? Um, Earth Day. And it wasn't because Earth Day. It signified something bigger that, we need to be mindful about being wasteful. And so going out to buy books on an impulse just wasn't a thing that I wanted to do on the month that while I was in a month where I was observing and being mindful of my carbon prints that I create. So this is the month of May. And so I wouldn't say May 1st, I started buying books again. I would say it was more like that first weekend. I found a couple of books at the Dollar Tree and I just went right back down a rabbit hole. But today, I want to share with you what I've acquired so far. So, the books that I have, they are all bargain books. They are not expensive. I either got them from the thrift store, and I got one book. Oh, I don't have it with me in my stack. I got one book, well, a couple of books out of a free man library, which I have some that I need to drop in a free man library. Those are good sources to find books as well. So I got a couple from there, a couple from the Goodwill. If you're here in the United States, the Goodwill is, well, I think Goodwill is universal, but here in the United States, the Goodwill is a organization that provide an abundance of resources for families and individuals, whether it be housing, whether it be work, whether it's, just an abundance of social services. And connected to this social service industry, they have what they call a I want to say like a store. And so in this store, you can get, things for a little bit of nothing. Um, and you can actually drop off donations and get a write off on tax returns. But I really don't suggest it unless it's like something of value, or if your donation is going to total, anything more than about 300 to 600, because other than that, it's really not helping you. So, but that's neither here or there. Today we're here to strictly talk about the books that I have. So let me get to this list because I don't want to make this video long and drawn out. So let's get into the first ones. So the first ones that I want to show you are smaller books that I acquired, and just little things I like to read from time to time. Every year when I go to the Dollar Tree, I always acquire this. So this right here is a what they call a astrology book, if you're into astrology. And this is for the Gemini, and this is 2025. So normally when I'm able to get this book, is like at the end of, or the middle of the year. So say for instance, this is May, maybe June or July, I will see the current year. But I found this one, and I've been actually looking through this one. I got this one, and I got the one for Virgo. All right. So the next one I got was, I don't know where I got this from. I want to say this was the Dollar Tree. No, this was Five Below. You know what? I'm not even going to tell you where I got all these books from, because I may give you the wrong information. But I got this one in particular from Five Below. And this is a sticker puzzle book. And I actually did one of the puzzles. Let me show you. This right here should probably be a face down example, but I do want to show you one of the puzzles I've completed so far. Okay, which is hard to see. So this is the puzzle I completed. So before the puzzle is completed, this is what you'll get. And so you fill in the stickers in these patterns. So I did one already. I may do another one maybe this week. I do it, for therapeutic reasons when I'm not doing anything. If I'm just sitting down, listening to an audio book or, looking at television. I like to do several things at one time. It kind of soothes me. Sometimes I can listen to what's in the background and function on doing things with my hands. The second thing I have, the third thing, is another activity book. I am a parent of several cats, and so I thought this was very cute to get. This is an activity book. I haven't done any of the activities in this book so far. I got this from, I want to say Five Below as well. I haven't done any activities in this book so far, but I do see some that, I'll probably sit down and go through in a week or so. So those are the activity books, and, just little miscellaneous reads that I get for myself to fill in those times, those filler times. So let's get to the books that I actually acquired, and I look forward to moving into my physical TBR. And when I mean physical TBR, I mean TBR that I'm currently reading, not, an active TBR that I have on my shelf. Well, no. We're going to switch that around. An active TBR is the one that I'm currently reading. Physical TBR are the books that I have on my shelf or in my home. Okay, so let's get started because I'm rambling at this point. This book, I love history. I love reading about various areas of history. So I can always guarantee you that I will have a history book selection every time I do a video. So this book right here, titled William Wells Brown, An African American Life by Ezra Greenspan. I know of William Wells, but I don't know his entire story. So I acquired this, and I look forward to reading it. The author, Ezra Greenspan, he has done several other books on this particular subject, William Wells Brown. And so I can't tell you a lot about it, but when I get to it, or whenever I get to it, I make sure to put a reminder and share that information with you all. So I'm going to go through these right quick. This one right here is the Sharks in the Time of Savior. Kawhi Strong, I can't get the last name, Washburn. And I think this is a Booker Prize award. I'm not sure, but the story itself sounds pretty good. And I'm not a paperback fan. I love hardcovers, but reading the story plot, I thought that it was interesting, and I think I will probably read this sooner than later. The next one are books that I get for like food and somewhat study. I love studying mushrooms, various different medicinal use for mushrooms. So these books right here cover that category. How to Forage for Mushrooms Without Dying, an absolute beginner's guide to identify 29 edible mushrooms. And I do want to do some mushroom foraging. And so when I saw this book, I just thought, this is the perfect time because every mushroom is not edible. I'm quite sure we know that. But if you don't know, now you know. So yeah, I thought this was interesting. So I acquired this, Frank Hyman. And it just talks about the different various mushrooms, how to forage them, and the 29 kind that you should not eat. I didn't even know that it was 29 of them. Yeah, 29 edible ones. And then how many of them? Half of these mushrooms I do know about. talks about the temperature. Yeah, I'm getting off into this book, but yeah, this one I would definitely be keeping by me during the summertime because I do want to do foraging one day. But I don't have a concrete plan, but I want to educate myself on that. Another one I get is Aurora Canes, Mystical Mushrooms, Discover the Magic and Folklore of Fantastic Fungi. Looking good, looking good. Another one is Etopogens, a dictionary of over 40 healing herbs and for stress, for energy, stress relief, beauty, and overall well-being. Melissa Petito. I did start looking through this one. Yeah. So these three books, I did get these from Five Below. These three right here. Now, like before, I can put the author's name and the title of the book. I would not be putting links in there because, you know, by the time I put this video up, who's to say these particular books will be at the, you know, where I found them. But, you know, just giving you the titles just in case you're interested in looking into them. And I hope you are. Another book I acquired from the Dollar Tree, a Healthy Mind Cookbook, and it gives recipes on memory and mental clarity. And I think I showed you guys this the last time. I'm such a fan of this book. The first half of this book, or I say the first quarter of this book, it gives you the story of how food works on for our brains. And then it gives you like a list of fruits and veggies and the effects of it. So it's a very easy read if you're interested in what they call a culinary pharmacy, which they talk about this in the book. And they should have probably called it a nature pharmacy because a lot of the things that they're talking about, these are things that, you know, you could just find in nature or you can grow on your own. So yeah, this is a very good book and you'll be seeing a lot of this. This author, Rebecca Katz and Matt Edelson, they also co-authored a book together on the cancer fighting kitchen. So it makes sense. And I want to say, we're not going to make any promises. This gem right here, I did get from the Goodwill. The Green Solutions for Home, Easy Cleaning and Pest Control, Dr. Miles Batter. I got this book because, like I said, I am a pet owner of several cats, and I do try to find alternative solutions instead of using you know, very toxic solutions that will not only affect me but affect them as well. This one I did get from the Dollar Tree. I'm assuming that the Dollar Tree got this from Walmart because it has this green label on it. But let me see if I can take it off. Oh, it came right off because I put some spray on it. I put that Glue Be Gone on it, you guys. I got that from Dollar Tree. So if you're ever curious if it works, it definitely works. So let me get this goo off of it right now. I probably should have prepped that before I brought it to the camera. So the next book is Truman, The Cold War and the Fight for Western Civilization. We are in a moment of history where we may be entering to a second Cold War. The Cold War was probably one of my favorite, or is one of my favorite eras of history to read about. And so this is Joe Scarborough. And I got this one from the Dollar Tree. What a gem, what a gem. Thomas Cinch, Mason and Dixon, The History of the Mason-Dixon Line. Nice book. I also got this from the Goodwill. The Kidnapping Club. Now, we are entering into books that I'm just going to name the places if I can remember where I got them from. But all of these titles will be in the link below, in the description below. So if you're interested in any book that I've mentioned, you can just look at the under the description. The title and the author will be in the description. So this one right here is The Kidnapping Club. Wall Street, Slavery, and Resistance on the Eve of the Civil War by Jonathan Daniel Wells. Once again, a good title for you history lovers. Now, this one I've heard of a while back, and I was always curious about this particular book, and really, this wasn't even on my radar to purchase or to look into. Like I saw it a few years ago. Well, I knew about it a few years ago, but just never really got into doing the research. So this one right here is Troubled Memory, Annie Levi, The Holocaust, and David Deuce, Louisiana, by Lawrence N. Powell. And this talks about really David Duke's bid to reinitiate the Ku Klux Klan. And I can't give you more than that. When I read it, and because this is one of the books, even though I got this from the Goodwill and it wasn't on my 25 for 2025, this is one of the books that I see that has drawn my interest, and so it has moved its way up to a book that I need to read sooner than later. So hopefully I will be able to get to it this year. So stay tuned. We'll see. Another author, Edward Rutherford. He wrote this series on different parts of the world. It's fictional. However, it talks about real life events throughout the novels. And this one is called London, the novel. I do have the book Serum and Paris. And so his work is it just takes you to a time and a period and a location where you can envision yourself experiencing these things. Like I love his historical writings. Yeah. I got that also from the Goodwill. Now, the books that I did get from the Goodwill this last trip, they were a range of, I want to say most of them, they were like $2.95, but nothing was over $3. They were like either 99 cents or $2.95. All right. The next one is Lincoln, David Herbert Donald, winner of the Pulitzer Prize. This is funny. My son got me this book for my birthday one year, and because he saw it on my Amazon list, which was a long time ago. He went and got it for my birthday, and I told him that I was actually looking at getting something else, and so he took the book back, and then I found it again for $2. So who doesn't like reading about Lincoln? This is a man of many truths. And even though, he was known as the great emancipator, Lincoln was definitely flawed, right? So I'm interested in reading a different version of Lincoln's story, and we'll see. This one right here is a goodie. Alex Toussaint, Activate Your Genius. This book seemed like it's more of a motivational story. So I don't know who he is. He's an athlete. So I don't know anything about him, but the one thing that stuck out to me was when he was talking about how he was looking to let me see, where was this part where he wanted to start his career, and he didn't have the finances, and his mother, she took the last $1,500 to help him manifest that. And so I just thought that was so encouraging. Yeah, it just reminds me of, you know, be with people who will support you. And everybody thinks that, it would always be the mom or the dad or the family member. Sometimes it's a mere stranger. Sometimes, it's the community that that will reach out and help you nurture those dreams. So I love motivational stories like that. The next one I have is not all downhill from here, a novel by Terry McMillan. I remember when this novel came out, and I was kind of on the fence about getting it, and I never got it. I didn't even write it in my notebook to get it, which is, I don't know. She is one of these authors that I don't want to say it's a hit and miss, but I love her strong identification of the Black woman, female characters in her books. So I look forward to reading this. I also um, acquired this at the Dollar Tree. Let's see if you can see this title. It's kind of glaring. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, the book that I told you that I got from the Free Man's Library, I actually have it here. And actually, I have a few more, but they are health and wellness books. And I'm not going to show you guys because I will be doing a health and wellness recommendation book coming out. Video coming out soon. So this one may come up before that one, but just letting you know, I do have a few more selections that I want to share with you guys. This one I did get from the Free Man's Library, Fate and Furies by Lauren Graff. And it was another one, and I think it's in my car. I don't have it with me right now, but those are the books that I have right now for this first haul of the spring, I think, or quarter two. I think how I did it last time, I did it for the quarter. So we're going to say this is the first of my quarter two, technically my quarter two haul. Quarter two started April the 1st. April, I did take a 30-day sabbatical, and I am so proud of myself because there were books that I did want to get, that I had on my list and that I saw, but I didn't get them. So I did pretty well. I'm proud of myself, for that self-control. And so sometimes it gives me a time, and anybody, when you're on when you have a goal, to focus on, to curb a certain habit. And mine is cultivating my library, which is not a crime. However, it can get sometimes unnecessary and expensive. So that's why I try to at least have 3 books in my mind that if I see them, I may debate, to get it or not, or something in that area that I would like to get. But nevertheless, I try to find books that I want to keep in my home library. Now, I don't just buy books for myself. These are the books that I have for myself. I do buy books for other people. Matter of fact, I got a few books that I'm going to give to other people, and I don't want to show it because, it's not for my library, but I will share with you one. Let me see. I was going to clean this one off and give it to somebody. I got the person I'm going to give it to, but I got this one right here. I have my own hard copy of this one. And so at the Goodwill, there were 2 of them, and I got this one. I like this print better than the other one. And so this is David McCullough's prize-winning biography on Truman. And if you have not had the opportunity to read this, I encourage you to read it, audiobook it, put it on your reader. This is actually a really good biography of one of the most prolific presidents since the Cold War. So Truman did pretty good. I'm gonna have to commend him. Um, when FDR died in office, Truman took the reins, and so a lot of people did not anticipate the accomplishments that he was able to legislate. So I'm just going to leave that tad bit there. You know, no presidency is perfect. However, Truman, he did pretty well. So in saying that, yeah, there's always, you know, good things to share, good things to buy in terms of books. And if there are any books that you want to suggest to me, feel free to drop them in the comments. And, you know, thank you for coming back. I do have a favor to ask. If you are interested in content like this, please click the subscribe button, the like, and then you share it. Do it in that order. Okay, you guys. It was nice chatting with you all, and see you again soon. Bye bye. Okay, so this is going to be the second part of this video. So I was going over putting away all of my books for my Q2 book haul stash. So we're going to call this part 2 of my part 1 video. Because I'm quite sure there will be others during quarter 2. So stay tuned for those as well. But the ones that I missed are in this bag. So let me grab them right now. I had one of them and I still have it out. The other ones, oddly enough, I put the books away because I already documented them. So this one I got from the same haul when I get these particular books I'm going to share with you right now. So there's a place, a bookstore called Cal's Book Chicago. And they are known for their academic books amongst other educational books that they have. So when I have time, you know, I do go and frequent and look for titles that I've been looking into for a while. So I went there for one particular book and they didn't have it anymore because I saw it at the end of April, but then I decided not to get it. And I went on a sabbatical for May. I mean, for April. No, I saw it at the end of March. I'm sorry. I saw it at the end of March. I went on a book buying sabbatical in April. Let me refresh my own memory. And so in May, I decided, okay, let me get back to cultivating. So these set of books I did get from PAL. All of them I got from PAL. And so let me go ahead and finish off this video and just give you these titles. So this one right here is The Race to Save Martin Luther King Jr.'s Life and Win the 1960 Election. This is an autograph copy. Let me see, where's the autograph? Oh, yeah, so it is. Author Paul Kendrick, he autographed it, but it's written by two, so it's co-authored, Stephen Kendrick and Paul Kendrick. I want to assume here is the autograph right here. I want to assume that they are related. So let me see. Stephen Kendrick and Paul Kendrick. They wrote quite a few books. So this is very nice. Unexpected surprise. I like it. I love reading books about historical figures like Martin Luther King. So that is a gem. Now, the book I went in for was on Chi, about the guerrilla warfare, like his autobiography. I think it's his auto. And so this one was written about him, but it was translated from Spanish to English. So I thought, well, you know, let's get it. It is an international best-selling biography. Guevara, also known as Che, and Paco Ignacio Taibo the second. So I settled for this. Now, this is not what I wanted, but it is a translated work. And I do plan on going back to find the actual book on Che. Yeah, because it's not too easy. I do plan on, like sometimes I had to walk myself through that, but I do plan on going and I do want to find that the original book I was looking for my collection. So, um, but it's not a big issue. Okay, another book that I got was The Right to Fight, a history of African Americans in the military, Gerald Astor. Gerald Astor. Really nice. And a lot of these books, they range anywhere between like $4.95. The most I paid was maybe $20, but none of these books are hit that category. Okay, my last bag. And all of this didn't come from one visit. I think this was like maybe 2 or 3 separate visits. Looking for that one book that I couldn't find. Because sometimes when you go and you look, it may not be where you expect it to be. And so I will go again to see if books have been restocked, because I took it to the front counter, and because I wanted to stay within my budget, I did not get that book that one time, and I'm kind of like kicking myself because I wish I would have got that one over the other book that I chose. But I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. I want to read this one that I have, and the other one is a autobiography, and that's why I wanted to read it, because it's different when someone's telling your story as opposed to you telling your own story. So that's the difference in there. But this is another book that I got, The Underground Railroad, Colson Whitehead. I've heard of this book, seen this book, thought about getting this book when it was in hardcover, but did not do it. But I like this cover anyway. And so this is a winner of a Pulitzer. This is also on Prime. I have not seen it yet. Oddly enough, I have not seen it yet. But I thought that this was a good deal. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Now, these are the characters that is on the actual TV series. But like I said, I haven't seen it yet. I would like to read the book before I think about seeing it. But it do have rave reviews from former President Barack Obama. Now I'm always excited, when I get a book that that he has enjoyed as well, and he just in parentheses terrific, yeah, good one. This one right here is part of a collection that I've been building on. Matter of fact, I am reading one of these books for my Q2 challenge. But this right here, this was one of the books in the series that I want to get. So this book is Empire of Liberty, and it is a history of the early republic, 1789 to 1815. And the collection is the Oxford History of the United States. So this collection, I have several of the books, and this right here will be part of that collection. Now, there are quite a few of them that I do want to collect, but I'm really taking my time with this collection. This is not a collection that I have like on my priority list, but if I see a book in good condition and it's at a reasonable price, I will get it. So yes, this is part of that collection. Author Gordon S. Woods. Like I said before, all of the name of the titles will be in the description below. Last but not least, this is a book I've actually been thinking about getting for quite a while, And when I saw it and I saw that it was a reasonable price, I just went ahead and got it. The Emperor of Lies, winner of the August prize. This is going to be somewhere in my, I think it's going to rain outside. This is going to be somewhere in my reading list up for this year. I've been wanting to dive into this book for a while, and so I'm glad that I was able to find it at a reasonable price. And so I'm not going to say this is not part of my 25 or 2025. This is just a book that I want to read a lot sooner than later. Let's just say that. So, in saying that, this book haul has extended itself, and I think I got more than I had set out to get. So, stay tuned. We are still in quarter two whenever you see this video, maybe years from now, but um, I'm going to mark this video part one of my quarter two collection. If you have any titles or any recommendations for me, please just drop them in description. I love reading about history. I love reading about Black history. I love reading about the Civil War, the Cold War, anything that has to do with the building of the United States and other countries as well. One book that I started reading was An Army at Dawn, and this is a trilogy. So, um, it's just one of those things that keeps my interest, right? And so in this three-part series, um, it starts off in North Africa, and so this is World War II, and it migrates itself, to other areas of the world. I want to know, not World War II, the Cold War. I'm sorry, I always get those two confused because they're so close together. Um, they kind of like back to back to back, but yeah. Let me stop all this rambling. So thank you for stopping by again, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.